Good afternoon, comrade subscribers. So yes, I'll follow your advice and see if I can buzz out some of these serial connections. My main concern was, for example, we've got all these capacitors here. You know, if any of the signals went through that, but obviously they won't, in hindsight, then I won't be able to get a proper reading. Anyway, let's give it a go. So first off, let's pull apart this DD50 plug, and then we can at least figure out what two of the pinouts are, the recharging ports. I figure I can reuse this to also do this. So let me just check the, it's a bit dark, isn't it? Okay, so we start at, okay, so pin 1, pin 17, pin 18, and that looks to be one less, so there's 16 on there, I guess, is it? So it looks like a 38 or 39. Anyway, I'll figure it out. So pin 1 starts there, and like that. Okay, first two pins have been figured out. So pin 50 is the positive charge, and pin 46 is ground. So I verified ground by checking ground on the max 232 pins. So there's no real need for me to have that on there actually. So although yeah, what was I going to do? I was actually going to get some NiCDs so I could charge it up. Plug in. There we go. Anyway, so I guess one thing next I could do is figure out if there are any other grounds on here by just checking ground and see what else is connected to ground. One, two, three. 1, 2. 1 and 2 are ground. Okay. Do. Okay, nothing on the middle row. Okay, so just pin 1, 2 and 46 ground. Okay, so we figured out the grounds. So yeah, so we've got 4 max 232 chips, and I had a look, so it seems pretty simple. So pin 1, 2, 3, 4, oh what is it? Pin 13. Pin 13 is transmit. Pin 14 is receive, and pin 15 is ground. So we've already established ground, so I'll do pin 13, 14 and see where they go. So yes, alright, so I'll do this, it'll be a bit boring, and I'll be back. So I think I figured a bit out. got pads here as well that you can actually, but anyway, so we've got U30, U31, U32, U34, and I've got the T1 out, R1 out, R1 in for all of them, and I have the R2 in for 4 of them, and a T2 out for 2 of them. So we've got T1 out, R1 in. So that seems to be the one used on the directly to the serial port, whereas T1 in, R1 out, T1 in, for example, is used from the microcontroller or whatever that's communicating via RS-232. But we've also got T2 out, R2 in over here. So some of them are connected. But I couldn't find, for example, T2 out for U31. I could find R2 in connected, but I couldn't find T2 out connected. I've not tested for T2 in or R2 out. Might maybe do that quickly. But so certainly I should have something to start with. I've just got to, I just don't know if I've got a serial port on my portable PC or not. Because my PCXT is not working, well, the keyboard's not working again, so I'm going to have to troubleshoot that. But I'm not sure about if I've got a serial card. Anyway, so let's just try pin 9. Let's just see if we can find that somewhere. So that's R2 out. No, didn't find that anywhere. Pin 10. T2 in. Get this out of the way. Just untangle it. Loop it over that. How's that? Is that a bit better? Ding ding. Okay. Let's see. R2. Okay, let's just try on this one here. U34. No, so for example, I could find for U31, I could find R2 in, but I couldn't find T2 out, the corresponding. So what's that? U31, R2 in, pin 8. So that's pin 33, 32, 31, 30. So pin 30. Alright, so that's R2 in. But if I check for T2 out, the corresponding, which one was it? I couldn't find it. Yeah, so wait a second, what's that one? U30, I was doing the wrong one, wasn't I? U34. U34, yeah, same thing, U34, pin 32. So there's an R2 in, but if you try and look for T2 out, there is no, I couldn't find a T2 out. There's T2 out there, so yeah, anyway, so I've got, well, at least 4 serial ports that I can try out. So I'll document this all on my GitHub. And see, what will I do? Well, I need to put it all back together, don't I? To test it out. I think I'm finished with everything at the moment. Well, I do need to replace that, so I'm going to have to pull it apart to replace that, won't I? Actually, could I run it? I could kind of run it, I guess, with it all out, because this is, I could Press all that, and then I've got the, I'll have the display hanging off. No, not really. No, I have to put it back together. But I don't want to put it back together until I've got that. And I want to dump these as well, so I need to, I'm going to have to pull it apart again anyway, aren't I? Alright. So if this is the end of the video, that means I can't figure out a serial port on my portable PC. I do have a 386 SX. I'm not sure if it's working though. It should be working, but I can try that. That should have a serial port. Let's see.